getting into your top week 2 defensive streamers. I love the Browns this week. Only 12% rostered right now. They destroyed the Bengals. 2 sacks, only 3 points allowed to Joe Burrow in this high-flying attack. Sure, the weather helped, but I do think under Jim Schwartz's direction, with all those interesting additions as well, that front 7, Myles Garrett, Darius Smith, JOK, and that vastly improved secondary that can lock down Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think the Schwartz effect is very real here. And now they're stepping into a matchup with the Steelers, who just gave up 5 sacks and 2 picks, will not have Deontay Johnson. Yes, that was against the 49ers elite defense, but this Browns team really does have the talent and now the coaching to potentially emerge as a top 10 unit. And against a helpless right now Steelers team, I think they could be a top 6 unit this week for sure, even on the road. Definitely one I would look to first if I'm picking up defenses. But right behind them, I love the Tampa Bay Bucks against a Bears team that got dismantled by a mediocre, I think, Packers defense. They're 21% rostered, the Bucks. They held the explosive Vikings to just 17 points, racking up 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, and a pick. And ultimately, they still have so many pieces of that Super Bowl winning defense. Edge rusher Shaquille Barrett, linebackers Devin White and Levante David, Carlton Davis at CB. This is still a defense containing a ton of talent, and the Bears, sure, they might be a little bit improved, but they just gave up the 4 sacks, 2 takeaways, and a defensive touchdown against that Packers team. So ultimately, I could see the Bucks doing something similar at home to this turnover-prone Bears team. Definitely my number 2 ad. And behind them, the Giants, 9% rostered. They got obviously absolutely obliterated on Sunday Night Football. I imagine they then take out all the frustration they're feeling right now on this hapless, pathetic Cardinals team. They only scored 1 touchdown last week, and it was on the defensive side, a fumble recovery into the end zone. They are far and away the Cardinals, the worst offense in the entire NFL. And yes, they got absolutely buried, this Giants team, but it's not like they have no talent. Dexter Lawrence, Kevion Thibodeau, Bobby Okereke at linebacker, Xavier McKinney in the secondary, a solid player as well. They still have talent. It just wasn't showing up. I think the Cowboys are among the most complete teams in the NFL, and they just had a steamrolling performance. I think the Giants take that heat, that rage they're feeling right now from that game, and just go nuts in Arizona. I think that defense could be great. And I mentioned the Packers coming off a top 3 day because of that great day against the Bears. It's a great secondary, and they're facing Desmond Ridder. They're going to have no problem limiting this guy who just only threw for 115 yards. My one worry with them, I've seen them on a bunch of streaming lists, is the one thing they don't do well, stopping the run. That's what the Falcons do as well as anybody in the league. So I could see another 70 carries, bleeding the clock, not a lot of turnover opportunities, and I think the Packers could ultimately be that fool's gold kind of defense, and I would ultimately go after the Browns, Bucks, and Giants before I go to them, even though I've seen them recommended by a lot of folks out there. All righty, Wolfpack. That wraps up my defensive streams of the week. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.